It all started in March 2023 when an unnamed United States Air Force airman was stationed in Germany. At the time, he lived with his wife, Melody Feliciano Johnson, and their child. The couple is now going through a divorce. According to court documents, he, quote, started noticing that his coffee was tasting bad. He continued to drink the coffee for the next 2 to 3 weeks and then ended up buying some pool chemical testing strips as the coffee continued to taste very bad to him. In multiple videos, the husband uses chlorine strips to test the water in his coffee maker. Every time, the test strip returns results for high levels of chlorine. According to a criminal complaint, the man, quote, suspected someone was tampering with his coffee, and in May 2023, while still in Germany, he set up a camera in his house. At that point, video captures Feliciano Johnson pouring something into his coffee pot.
Tonight's the night I caught her on video. So let's test this water. It's gonna be purple. Boom.
The man later told law enforcement he prepared his coffee every evening so that in the morning he just needed to turn it on to make his coffee. He alleged between the time he set up his coffee and the following morning, Feliciano Johnson tampered with the machine. Video seemingly captures this, showing Feliciano Johnson checking to see if the coffee maker has been prepared before grabbing something from under the sink and pouring it into the machine.
Apparently, the opportunity to claim life insurance is enough reason for you to end the love of your life. I looked into the benefits of life insurance for military personnel, and it's actually a lot of money. She tried to poison him multiple times. So this is not the first time she's doing it, or she just did it once and she forgot to do it the next time. She did it repeatedly. So bleach contains chlorine in the form of sodium hypochlorite. Yes. So this chemical has been used for hundreds of years to kill bacteria in wars and in all sorts of application in medicine. So it's a very known compound. If it can kill bacteria at higher concentration, it can cause a lot of damage to human cells. I don't really know what bleach will do to one's body if they consume it at a higher concentration continuously. If you do know what it does to a human body, please leave that in the comments below. This is my speculation. At higher concentration and regular exposure of bleach to the human body, it may progressively poison him and cause internal damage to his stomach and his tissues. So I don't know exactly what the full extent will be, but whatever damage it will be causing inside of there, it will not be a pleasant one. And imagine you dying slowly and they don't even know what's wrong with you. Luckily, he was familiar with the taste of coffee and he noticed that this thing doesn't taste right, and he ended up checking his water supply to see that, oh, there is no chemical here, and checking his coffee and seeing that there's a huge spike in chlorine in his brewer, or whatever you people call that. I'm not a coffee person. Thankfully, he had cameras and he was able to fish out the fact that his wife was trying to poison him just to get these benefits. So let's go to the comments and see what people have to say. Trip777 says, it takes a special kind of evil to lovingly communicate with someone every day, showing them intimacy and affection while secretly attempting to murder them slowly. Body is going to have serious trust issues and should seek immediate therapy after this. I hope justice is served and she gets the punishment that she deserves. Paladin Larek says, I think my wife was doing something similar to me. I was even coughing up and spitting blood for nearly a year. After I filed for divorce, she hit me twice and was very abusive and left our shared apartment together to go live on my own. It mysteriously went away and never returned. It's been 6 years now and never came back. She was incredibly evil. This guy's wife is too, in my opinion. Southern Grown says, I married my husband when he didn't even have a job. We were in our 20s and I knew no matter how much money we had, that he was who I wanted to be with for better or for worse. Not even at the times I have been so mad at him would I even have a fleeting thought of hurting him. We just had our 14th anniversary and things get hard. But never, this woman deserves whatever is coming to her. I really feel for the child who by choice she removed herself from their life. Thank goodness she was caught and the baby still has their daddy with a heart emoji. This is my opinion. We forget women are humans too and not angels and divine beings that don't commit any sin. Whatever evil or despicable thing you think a man can do, a woman can also do the same with equal measure. I learned a long time ago to never underestimate a woman. If this one is not enough for you, here's another case. This woman now hired an assassin to do the job.
I'm Sergeant Ramsey. I'm the one that called you. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry to call you. Listen, we had a report of a disturbance at your house, and there were shots fired. Is your husband Michael? Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am. He's been killed. He's been killed, ma'am. I'm sorry.
No, he's not.
Listen.
No.
Try to calm down.
No.
What you just saw was Dalia DiPolito crying over her husband's death. Something that was found not true. Everything you see here, from her immediate outburst of sorrow to the officer reporting, it's all done to uncover the actual plot. In this video, we're taking you through the crazy case of Dalia and how a successful sting operation prevented a terrible fate for her husband. In 2008, Dalia DiPolito was in real estate and had a side hustle as an escort when she met her husband, Michael DiPolito. Michael had a sheet on him for fraud but was very successful. But somewhere along the line, their marriage fell apart, and it was evident that she was using a criminal history to get whatever she wanted from him. One time, the police were tipped by an anonymous caller about Michael's involvement in narcotics. He was worried about losing his assets if arrested, so he signed off his assets to Dalia. Now, with the assets in her name, she wanted him gone. Dalia reached out to an ex-boyfriend named Mohammed Shihadeh to find an assassin, but instead of finding an assassin, he went to the police and informed them of the conversation.
She has to find someone who can kill her husband for her.
Are you scared for the guy?
Yes, because she's really, dead serious on getting this done. She's maybe 5'6", 5'7", dark black hair. She's a good-looking girl. Really good-looking girl, actually.
But it was his word against hers. There was no proof. So to get proof, Shihadeh was made a confidential informant for the Boynton Police Department and was asked to arrange a meetup with Dalia in a public gas station to discuss the assassination.
This guy's a professional. It's not his mom is not going to get suspicious of you or anything like that.
Why me? Like, do you know what telling somebody it? Nobody's going to be able to point a finger at me.
And to conclude this conversation, Shihadeh tells her that the hitman wants $1,200 to buy a gun. And surprisingly, she counts it out and gives it to him, along with a picture of her husband.
Wipe my pants off the pictures. Really? You're gonna give him something with fingerprints all over?
This is when the detectives realize that this lead is actually a potential murder case. So now the police decided to plan this sting operation to gather as much evidence as there is. In 2 days, Dalia is called to meet with the assassin, who is actually Officer Whitty G, an undercover cop. After she gets into his car, the two discuss how the attack will take place.
Got a picture of the house, whatever.
How soon can we get everything going?
Well, it's up to you.
I mean, I need it done like this week, but like my understanding of everything was that like, you know, I was gonna give you what I gave you, and then that was everything. Until after the fact. And then after the fact, I guess you were gonna come and like find me or whatever. I mean, I'm good for it. Like, it's not like I don't have it or anything. I mean, I know not to fuck around with you. You know certain things, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you obviously know where I'm at.
I could get it done by Wednesday if you want me to. You understand? But I gotta do my homework, you know? I gotta, know exactly where the place is and how to get out of there, how to get in and out, you understand, what the neighbors want. I gotta call the cops, report a shooting to see how fast they get to that location. There's a lot of stuff I gotta do. That's gonna cost me a lot of money.
So if we go ahead and we do it, at the house, how soon could you do it? And
I could do it Wednesday morning. It's gonna be like I break into the house, didn't think he was gonna be home because everybody works in the daytime.
Right.
I'm gonna think he's at work. Boom, he's not at work, then, he gets 2 in the head. That's it, I take a couple things with me, break a couple windows, make it look like a robbery that went bad, and it's all over. I'm gone out of there. We're just going to be asking you questions, although they know it's going to be obvious what it is, and they already know, but, they're going to ask questions, because that's how they got to do it. But I don't know how well you handle pressure. You understand? I don't know, because I don't want...
No, I'm not going to, I'm a lot tougher than what I look. I know you see me and you're like, oh, what a cute little girl, whatever. But I'm not.
You are. You're extremely beautiful.
Thank you, but, I just need to make sure everything's going to take care of.
Between now and when it's done, you're not going to have an option to change your mind. Even if you change your mind, I'm talking to him.
There's no changing, there's no, I'm determined already. I'm positive, 5,000% sure, around 6:30, 7 o'clock, he always walks the dog in the morning.
Okay.
He walks the dog across, over where the lake is, and our door is always unlocked.
Let me ask you one question here that's kind of puzzling, or that we would like answered if we can. What's her motivation for having you killed? I mean, why not just get divorced? Or did she ever mention divorce or separation?
Never.
So, in your mind, what's her motivation?
We just purchased.
Insurance policy?
No, we just purchased a home, and I just actually signed the title over to her until I could straighten out my other problems with probation, and also, the $200 and some thousand she stole from me, I think is a big motivation. So basically, I guess with my home and everything else, $500,000 of motivation.
Was that money used like restitution to pay back your victims?
It was supposed to be for that. Yeah.
Right.
And she stole it.
You got no proof.
So with that, the husband was brought in on the plan and asked to be at the station during the hours of the fake planned hit. At this time, Dahlia was told to be at the gym, her designed alibi. So while she was there, the police called her and immediately asked her to come home, which she knew was where her husband was meant to be killed. To her, this would be the police calling her to be informed of her husband's demise, so she had to act accordingly. Why don't you be the judge and see how she did?
I'm Sergeant Ramsey. I'm the one that called you. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry to call you. Listen, we had a report of a disturbance at your house, and there were shots fired. Is your husband Michael? Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am. He's been killed. He's been killed, man. I'm sorry.
No, he's not.
Listen.
No.
Try to calm down.
No.
Listen, right now what we need to get you to the station. We need to get you to our police station. I can't let you see him, man. We have to do our job. If you want us to find his killer, okay, we need you to calm down. I'm gonna need you to go with these detectives, okay? Does he have enemies? Is there anyone that would want to hurt him? Okay, who would want to hurt him? Witnesses said they saw a black male running from me. I can't let you see him, ma'am. Ma'am, I cannot do this right now. Ma'am, I can't do it. Detective Yopi, I need you to take her to the station. I can't. Ma'am, go with these detectives. If you want to help your husband, okay? If you want to help your husband, you need to go to the station with these gentlemen and tell us everything you know about who he knows, who he's connected to. Don't worry, we've already taken care of your dogs with animal control for right now.
Stand up, please.
Oh my God!
Who's alive?
Come here, please. Come here. Mike, come here. Come here, please. Come here.
Can't fix it.
Why not? I didn't do anything
I
to
heard
you.
you.
Mike, come here, please. Come here.
Okay. Mike, we'll take her back to Brooklyn, please.
On that day, Dahlia DiPolito was charged with solicitation of first-degree murder.
She reacted so fast, cry laugh emoji, didn't even process it LMAO. Specky says, the fact that they knew she was faking makes it so embarrassing for her, cry laugh emoji. Alana Boba says, this is so embarrassing and scary that people are capable of doing this. iMix Music says, this video misses out the craziest part of the story. She called her husband on the phone after being arrested and tried to convince him she was innocent. When he told her he had seen the video of her planning the hit, she tried to convince him not to believe what he had seen with his own eyes. That takes gaslighting to a whole new level. MMA Guru's mom says, she was so excited she went for a hug with the officer. Cry laugh emoji. One thing I'll never forget to take for granted is the fact that all human beings, including myself, we have the potential to do great evil. So we should never forget this fact, and we should be careful with the things we think about and the things we try to excuse. When a lady marries you for what you have, she clearly does not care about you. She cares about your assets. These are the red flags that this guy saw but still chose to stay. She started stealing from him. Mind you, this guy is not a honest businessman, so he also duped people. So that's why he was on probation. On being on probation, it's almost as if he is supposed to be paying back the people who he owed money and find some way to compensate them. So that means he had some stash of cash. This more or less gave the lady the reason to steal from him. She pressured him to enter into some other businesses that did not see any form of return. Her end game was for her to have everything that he had. She allegedly also tried to plant drugs in her husband's car so that police will take him away and she in return will end up taking everything. But he found out about the drugs by himself and hope he didn't get into any trouble. When she tried framing him and none of that worked, she resorted to assassination. She tried to hire a hitman via her ex-boyfriend, but thank God this man had a soul. He basically got the police involved in the whole process. If he had reported her without enough information, she probably would have gotten away with it. So the police worked with him to make sure that they had all the evidence that they need to convict her, because in the justice system in the US, a woman can plea and she will get better leniency or just accuse the guy being that, okay,
this guy probably was jealous of me and he's accusing me of wanting to kill my husband, different kind of things.
And the case can go out. So they need all the evidences so that the court will not throw out the case. So what I think went through the guy's mind is, if I go and report her without any evidence now, or go and report her directly, I might enter into trouble, and if she gets out of it, I might be the next target of her assassination. So he probably thought this thing through. Okay, I don't want to help her to kill anybody, and at the same time, she should not go scot-free because I might be next. So let me work with the police. That's what went through my mind, and I think that was what also went through his mind. So he did the right thing, and at the same time, he protected himself. So in the end, people have to be very careful with the people they bring into their lives. Whether you are a man or a woman, you have to be careful. When you get married, you people become one. Nobody knows what and how you are suffering in that marriage. Hopefully, they don't hear of your demise before they hear of your problems. In the end, you are not an island. We all have blind spots. We need people in our lives that are allowed to offend us. These people force us to consider things in our life that we might be overlooking or we totally have a blind spot to. These people are not just random people. These are people you've vetted over the years. Your vetted friends, the ones you know you can trust with your life. Your vetted siblings. Not every of your siblings should know what is going on in your life. Few of them that you know you can trust. Your parents. We know not every parent is responsible, but God has given you those parents for a reason. Some of them have insights that you can take or ignore. Sometimes they are seasonal, but they are always useful. And most especially your spiritual guide, your pastor, needs to be able to call you to order when they feel you are going out of line or when they notice something that you yourself are not noticing. So you have to be open to take this feedback, process it the way you can, but at the same time, not get offended when people tell you things that may be contrary to the way you are feeling. Don't be above counseling. Love can be blinding. Bad things like this, it happens. Just be around people that can help you to point them out. If you like this video, please leave me a like, share it to somebody that you think it might be useful for, and help me to grow this channel. See you guys and gals later. Bye-bye. Subscribe!